Welcome, fellow travelers, through the cosmos of history. Today, we embark on a journey through time to explore the Macedonian Empire, a realm that once spanned continents and left an indelible mark on the tapestry of civilization. Imagine a time when the world was a vastly different place, when the very notion of empire was still in its adolescence. From the rugged terrains of Macedonia, a force arose that would forever alter the course of history. We're talking about Alexander the Great and the Macedonian Empire. This wasn't just some footnote in a dusty history book. This was a period of massive expansion, intellectual ferment, and cultural fusion, the likes of which the world had never seen. So buckle up, stargazers, as we delve into the fascinating facts of the Macedonian Empire, an empire that dared to reach for the edges of the known world and whose legacy continues to resonate even today. Alexander the Great, the very name evokes images of military brilliance and unyielding ambition, but behind this legendary conqueror lay the influence of a profound mind, his tutor, the philosopher Aristotle. Aristotle wasn't your typical schoolmaster. This was a man whose ideas helped shape Western thought, a man who pondered the very nature of logic, ethics, and politics. Aristotle instilled in young Alexander a deep appreciation for knowledge, a thirst for understanding that extended far beyond the battlefield. Under Aristotle's tutelage, Alexander wasn't just taught to conquer, he was taught to rule. He learned the art of rhetoric, the power of diplomacy, and the importance of fostering a just and prosperous society. These lessons would prove invaluable as Alexander transitioned from a prince into a king, and from a king into an emperor. Under Alexander's leadership, the Macedonian Empire didn't just expand, it exploded across the map. Imagine this. In just over a decade, Alexander's armies conquered lands from Greece in the west to Egypt in the south, all the way to the Indus River Valley in the east. This was an empire unlike any the world had ever seen, a vast tapestry of cultures, languages, and peoples united under the banner of a single ambitious ruler. The sheer scale of Alexander's conquests is staggering, a testament to his military genius, his unwavering determination, and perhaps a touch of good fortune. But the Macedonian Empire wasn't just about conquest, it was about connection. Alexander understood that true power lay not just in controlling territory, but in controlling the flow of ideas, goods, and people. You know, when we think about the ancient world, it's easy to imagine empires rising and falling like the tides. The ebb and flow of power, the rise of great leaders, and the inevitable decline of once mighty civilizations. It's a cycle as old as time itself, and yet, within this cycle, there are moments and figures that stand out, leaving an indelible mark on history. But what's often overlooked is the lasting impact these empires had on the very fabric of civilization. The remnants of their achievements, the cities they built, the cultures they influenced, and the knowledge they preserved. These are the true legacies that continue to shape our world today. Take Alexander the Great, for instance, a name synonymous with conquest and ambition, but there's so much more to his story. This wasn't just a guy who conquered for the sake of conquering. He had a vision, a grand design for the world he sought to create. His campaigns were not merely about expanding territory, they were about spreading culture, ideas, and innovations. He understood the power of legacy, of leaving an indelible mark on the world. He knew that true greatness wasn't just about winning battles. It was about building something that would endure long after he was gone. And what better way to do that than by founding cities? Cities that would become centers of learning, commerce, and culture. Cities that would stand as testaments to his vision and ambition. I mean, think about it. The very concept of a city is a marvel of human ingenuity. It's a place where people come together, where ideas are exchanged, where progress is made. Cities are like the building blocks of civilization, hubs of commerce, culture, and innovation. Alexander knew this, and he went on to establish over 20 cities during his conquests, many of them bearing the name Alexandria. Each of these cities was a reflection of his vision, a piece of his grand design. These cities were not just outposts or military bases. They were meticulously planned urban centers, strategically placed to maximize their influence and impact. They were designed to be beacons of culture and learning, to attract scholars, artists, and traders from all corners of the known world. Now, these weren't just outposts. They were vibrant, thriving communities, each with its own unique character and charm. They were places where people lived, worked, and dreamed. Take Alexandria, Egypt. This wasn't your average village. It was a city designed to impress, to showcase the might and splendor of the Macedonian Empire. It became a beacon of knowledge, home to the legendary Library of Alexandria, a repository of scrolls and wisdom that drew scholars from across the known world. This wasn't your average village. It was a city that stood at the crossroads of the ancient world, a melting pot of cultures and ideas. It was a place where the best and brightest minds of the time came together to share their knowledge and insights. It became a beacon of knowledge, home to the legendary Library of Alexandria, a repository of scrolls and wisdom that drew scholars from across the known world. The library was more than just a collection of books. It was a symbol of the pursuit of knowledge, a testament to the human spirit's unquenchable thirst for understanding. This was a city designed to impress, to showcase the might and splendor of the Macedonian Empire. It was a place where the grandeur of Alexander's vision was brought to life, where the ideals of Hellenistic culture were celebrated and preserved. And it wasn't just Alexandria, Egypt. Alexander's influence stretched far and wide, with cities bearing his name scattered across the ancient world. From Alexandria Eshade in modern-day Tajikistan to Alexandria in Arakosia, now Kandahar, Afghanistan, these cities became vital links in a vast network that stretched across continents. They were centers of trade, culture, and innovation, each contributing to the rich tapestry of human history. Today, the ruins of these ancient cities stand as silent witnesses to a bygone era. They remind us of the incredible achievements of those who came before us, of the visionaries who dared to dream big, and the legacies they left behind. As we walk through these ancient streets, we are reminded of the enduring power of human ingenuity and the timeless quest for knowledge and understanding. So, the next time you think about the ancient world, remember that it's not just about empires rising and falling. It's about the lasting impact they had on our civilization, the cities they built, and the knowledge they preserved. It's about the legacies that continue to shape our world today, reminding us of our shared history and the enduring power of human ambition and creativity. When it comes to military history, few figures loom as large as Alexander the Great. Born in 356 BC, Alexander was a visionary leader whose conquests stretched from Greece to Egypt and into the heart of Asia. His military campaigns are legendary, and his tactics are still studied in military academies around the world. This wasn't just a general who won battles, he redefined the art of warfare. Alexander's genius lay not only in his strategic mind, but also in his ability to inspire and lead his men through seemingly insurmountable odds. His campaigns were marked by rapid, decisive movements and innovative tactics that left his enemies bewildered and defeated. And at the heart of his military success was a formidable force, the Macedonian phalanx. Now, imagine this. The phalanx was a military formation that was revolutionary for its time, a true game-changer in the annals of warfare. Thousands of soldiers shoulder to shoulder advancing as one impenetrable unit. This formation was not just about brute strength, it was about unity and coordination. Each soldier knew his role and trusted his comrades implicitly. Each soldier, a cog in a well-oiled machine armed with a sarissa, a pike so long it would make a basketball player blush. The sarissa was typically about 18 feet long, allowing soldiers to strike enemies from a distance while remaining protected behind their shields. These weren't just spears, they were instruments of battlefield domination. The length of the sarissa gave the Macedonian soldiers a significant reach advantage over their adversaries, making it nearly impossible for enemy forces to break through their lines. The front ranks of the phalanx presented a bristling wall of shields, protecting themselves and their comrades behind them. This wall of shields was not just a defensive measure, it was an offensive weapon, pushing forward relentlessly and crushing anything in its path. The sheer sight of this advancing wall of bronze and flesh was enough to make even the most seasoned enemy tremble. The psychological impact of facing such a disciplined and formidable force cannot be overstated. Many battles were won before they even began, simply because the enemy was too terrified to stand their ground. But the phalanx wasn't just about intimidation, it was a masterpiece of tactical genius. Alexander and his generals used the phalanx in conjunction with other units such as cavalry and archers to create a flexible and adaptable fighting force. The soldiers trained relentlessly, drilling for hours on end to move as a single, cohesive unit. This training was rigorous and demanding, but it was essential for the phalanx to function effectively. Every soldier had to be in perfect sync with his comrades. They could shift formations, wheel around, and advance with a precision that would put a marching band to shame. This ability to maneuver quickly and efficiently on the battlefield gave the Macedonian army a significant tactical advantage. This level of coordination and discipline was practically unheard of in ancient warfare. The Macedonian phalanx was a testament to the power of training, discipline, and innovative thinking. It was a force that changed the course of history and left an indelible mark on the world of military strategy. You know, in the annals of military history, few commanders have achieved the legendary status of Alexander the Great, and for good reason. This wasn't just a lucky general who stumbled into victory after victory. Alexander was a strategic mastermind, a chess player on the battlefield who seemed always to be one step ahead of his opponents. Take, for instance, the Battle of Granicus River in 334 BC. Alexander, a young king at the time, was leading his Macedonian forces against a much larger Persian army. Now, any sensible commander would have played it safe, waited for reinforcements, maybe even tried to negotiate. Not Alexander. He saw an opportunity to strike a decisive blow, and he seized it with characteristic audacity. The Persians, confident in their numerical superiority, had positioned themselves on the steep banks of the Granicus River, figuring the Macedonians wouldn't dare attack such a formidable position. But Alexander, understanding the element of surprise, launched a lightning-fast assault, leading his cavalry across the river in a daring maneuver. Alexander the Great's conquests were more than just military victories. They were cultural earthquakes. See, when civilizations clash, it's not just swords and shields that collide, it's ideas. Alexander's campaigns acted as a catalyst, spreading Greek culture throughout his vast empire. This fusion of Greek, Persian, Egyptian, and Indian cultures led to the emergence of a new era, the Hellenistic period. Imagine a world where the philosophies of Aristotle mingle with the astronomical observations of the Babylonians. That's Hellenism in a nutshell. From the sculptures of Aphrodite to the plays of Sophocles, Greek art and literature found new life in far-flung corners of the empire. This cultural exchange wasn't a one-way street either. The Greeks, in turn, were influenced by the customs and traditions of the people they encountered. This cross-pollination of ideas fostered intellectual and artistic growth on an unprecedented scale. Alexander the Great, he conquered an empire that stretched from the shores of Greece all the way to the Indus River Valley. But even the mightiest of comets eventually fades away. In 323 BC, at the age of 32, Alexander's conquests came to an end, not on the battlefield, but from a mysterious illness. Some historians speculate it was malaria, others typhoid fever. Whatever the cause, his death left a power vacuum in his vast empire. Imagine a universe with no center of gravity, no single force holding everything together. That was Alexander's empire without its emperor. The empire, too vast to hold under a single banner, fractured. Alexander's generals, ambitious men who had fought by his side, each staked their claim. These generals, known as the Diadochi, meaning successors, carved up the empire like astronomers dividing the night sky into constellations. And so began an era of conflict and intrigue. Alexander's ambition was as boundless as the cosmos. He sought not just to conquer lands, but to reach the very ends of the world as he understood it. And so, in 327 BC, Alexander set his sights eastward, leading his army across the Hindu Kush mountains into the Indian subcontinent. Imagine the logistical challenges: supplying an army across treacherous mountain passes, navigating unfamiliar terrain, encountering cultures vastly different from their own. Yet, Alexander pressed on, driven by an insatiable curiosity and a thirst for glory. He wasn't met with open arms everywhere. Local rulers like the fierce King Porus resisted Alexander's advance. But Alexander, a master strategist, had a knack for turning challenges into opportunities. He understood that to conquer a land, you must first understand its people. He engaged in diplomacy, forging alliances with local rulers who were willing to accept his rule. He respected local customs and traditions, recognizing that a harmonious empire requires more than just military might. From the bustling streets of Alexandria, where merchants and scholars once mingled, exchanging goods and ideas, to the serene banks of the Indus River, a lifeline for civilizations that thrived along its course, Alexander the Great's legacy continues to resonate across the centuries. His conquests stretch from Greece to Egypt, and as far as the Indian subcontinent, his empire may have been short-lived, but the cultural and intellectual exchanges it fostered were profound and long-lasting. The impact of his reign on history is undeniable, influencing countless generations and shaping the world as we know it. He showed us that the pursuit of knowledge is a noble endeavor, one that can transcend borders and bring people together. The desire to explore new frontiers, both geographically and intellectually, can push the boundaries of human achievement to new heights. Alexander's story is a reminder that the human spirit is capable of extraordinary feats, and that the universe is full of wonders waiting to be discovered. His curiosity and ambition were boundless, and he demonstrated that even the most ambitious dreams can be realized with courage, determination, and strategic thinking. His thirst for knowledge was insatiable, and he sought the wisdom of great philosophers like Aristotle, who taught him the value of critical thinking and inquiry. And so, the next time you gaze upon the stars, remember Alexander, the boy king who dared to conquer the world, and left behind a legacy that continues to inspire us to this day. His story is not just one of conquest, but of vision and the relentless pursuit of greatness. The monuments and ruins dedicated to him stand as testaments to his enduring influence, attracting visitors from around the globe who seek to connect with history. If you enjoyed this exploration of Alexander the Great and the Macedonian Empire and wish to delve deeper into the annals of history, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Lexopedia for more fascinating journeys into the past. Your engagement helps us bring more stories of historical significance to light. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Stay connected with us as we continue to uncover the mysteries and marvels of our shared heritage. Until next time, keep exploring the cosmos of history. Let the past illuminate your present and guide your future. The journey through time is endless, and there is always more to discover. Keep your curiosity alive and your mind open to the wonders of history.